Let's hinder some players using the high serve big forehand build in Tennis Clash, a sports game published by Wi-Fi Studios. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel Gameplay 265 and to turn on the bell if you like this video. We start a match with an opponent who doesn't have very high serve nor a super strong forehand, but who has more experience and trophies than the following opponents. I haven't been matched versus so many high serve big forehand players lately in Tour 7. Looks like after the big update they have kind of disappeared a bit. I have seen none in Tour 8. I remember having seen a lot of big serve, yeah, and strong forehand players in the top 50 before the big update of 7th of May 2020. So you can note that, oh, there was a lag there for him. You can note that this opponent has put some points on his backhand, so he doesn't have put everything on his forehand. So this is not one very strong hand player. Some put a lot of points on the forehand. So not that I had succeeded in from footing him even with a low serve here. That is easier to do since the big update. Beforehand that was almost impossible if you had only a 36 or something serve to hit an ace. Especially because this opponent is having a higher agility than myself. Where you can see the correlation between the stamina decline and the difficulty of the opponent to catch balls. So yes, even if this opponent has used the choker chord that gives a small stamina shield, that is clearly not enough because he has a 35 stats only in the stamina attribute. It's not enough. So this is another match against the same opponent. This time he's playing with a Sakura string that has almost the same perks than the choker chord, except that it has a forehand counter. So as you can see, with the relatively modest backhand, that's enough to annoy. And of course, a 69 forehand is way enough to disturb the opponent. Okay, some unforced errors, which we see more and more after the big update. So the problem of high serve players is that they lack a lot of agility. So you have to take advantage of that and try to outflank your opponent after the serve, after having succeeded in returning the serve or the strong attack on your weak serve. You have to outflank. So hit the two corners, one of the two corners, or make drop shots. Sometimes you just can't, like here, because the serve was too strong. And obviously, if possible, just hit on the weak hand of your opponent, which is the backhand. Most of the time, the high serve players play with Victoria or Leo in lower tours, but Victoria and Leo are all two left-handed characters, so hit on the backhand. They generally have a strong forehand and a weak backhand. Look at the way Victoria is crawling at the end. Poor Victoria. She is losing a lot of stamina very fast. So if you don't use the antioxidants card, that's very hard for her. Okay, so 72 forehand here. Some decent agility, 63. This is not too bad for a high serve player, but a very weak backhand. So obviously whenever you hit, when you get, whenever you can find a window to hit on the backhand of this Victoria, well, that's almost game over for her. That's the problem. If you don't have any backhand. See if you don't, if you can't return on her backhand, well, that's another, that's a problem. But keep focus if you can't hit, because sooner or later you will hit the backhand of the opponent. And sometimes, because the opponent, the high serve player who doesn't have a strong backhand, we try to anticipate you hitting on her backhand, his backhand, I mean. Well, just try to hit on the opposite side, on the strong hand, the forehand. Wow, that was nice. Very nicely executed here. And of course, some soft drop shots can be very annoying for those high serve, strong forehand players. So since the big update, when you have a very strong, very big forehand, you can more easily hit it out of the court. So if you have this problem, you should step back a bit, and that will make your swipe unchanged while putting the ball in the court more easily. So this is another match. This time the backhand is better. You can note that this player is using a Maestro Monte, which is generally enough. It gives a stamina shield, like the Joker Court, but no long catch. But you know, when you play with the high serve, big forehand build, you should not really try to long catch, because your build is not made for that. It doesn't have the agility nor the stamina to use the long catch of the choker chord, or any string having long catch anyway. So it's useless. It's a kind of a double or nothing style. Whether you can hit very nice serves, and behind that you can follow up with very strong forehand that are winners, you have only 1 or 2 shots max, you know, to end the rally. If you can't do that, well, that's almost game over for you, because that's going to be very hard to come back and to win the rally. Once you are outflanked, it's almost game over. Well, the point is almost over, because well, you have no agility to go back to try to run. You have no more stamina. Once you are outflanked 1 or 2 times, you see this exclamation mark on your character. You mean you have almost no more stamina, and that's very hard. Okay, this is another one. This time the forehand is weaker. Yep, looks like this Victoria shouldn't have caught that ball. So for the return, you don't have to hit very strong return on the serves, of course. Actually, if you hit very strong returns on the big serve, that will very probably go out of the court. It will be an unforced error. So just try to hit it back in a control mode. Try to put that either on the backhand or on the completely opposite side, where your opponent, your Victoria opponent, doesn't expect you to play, which is on her forehand. And well, I mean, you should do that only when you can't make drop shots. Sometimes, the serve is too strong and you can't make drop shots. So, well, in that case, return on the backhand, or actually in towards one of the two corners, like here, and you just have to hit it on the other corner. It's the windshield wiper. That's it. As you can see, the return was not very hard and tough. It was enough to outflank the opponent, who had a very hard time catching it to return it. So this is the last match. The serve and forehand is not strong, and well, the Toro twine is a good choice for if you have plenty of them, of course. For the high serve, big forehand players, I think the swallow pulley is enough for them. But anyway, so the opponent clearly expected, yeah, she read it really well there. She anticipated me playing that cross-court drop shot. So yeah, the swallow pulley, I was saying that the swallow pulley is much cheaper than the throw twine, and it is still very efficient too. So generally, when I play with the high serve big forehand build, I play with the swallow pulley because it's way enough. Okay, so I was saying as well that you don't have to hit a very big return. Sometimes a controlled one, accurate one, in a spot where your opponent doesn't expect you to hit is enough to outflank. Yes, here the Victoria was waiting me to hit on the backhand, and I hit on the other side. That's enough to front foot her. Same thing here. She was running to the other side because she was expecting me to play her backhand. That's too bad. Too bad it was like that. I don't like that at all. I like when the matches are played in good conditions, when they are real fights. Not when, but well, when you can't. You have to accept the connection problems. Well, this is the build that I have used the most to play versus those high serve big forehand players, where I hope you enjoy watching me hinder some players using the high serve big forehand build in Tennis Clash, a sports game published by Wi-Fi Studios. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Gameplays 365 to stay tuned for new videos of Tennis Clash. Thank you a lot for your support, and see you soon on Gameplay 365. Bye bye.